Welcome, everyone. The candidates have agreed on the following format for tonight's debate. Following opening statements by each candidate, there will be 3 debate segments. Segment 1 will cover foreign policy, defense, and international issues. Segment 2 will cover domestic issues. In the final segment, the candidates will ask questions of each other. This segment will last 15 minutes. The debate will conclude with closing statements by each candidate. Here are the rules of the debate as the candidates have agreed to. The moderator will pose the first question to candidate 1, who will have 2 minutes to answer. Candidate 2 will then have 2 minutes to answer. Finally, candidate 1 will have, if they like, a 1-minute time period to comment or rebuttal. Then the next question will be asked of candidate 2. Candidate 1 will answer, and candidate 2 will have a 1-minute opportunity for comment or rebuttal. I remind the candidates, please, that time limits will be strictly enforced. I'm not going to cut you off in the middle of a sentence, but I may cut you off in the middle of a paragraph. We'll begin with opening statements from Dana Walsh. 5 minutes.
Very good. So the timing has started. Thank you all for being here. I want to thank the San Francisco Republican Party, Nob Hill Republican Women Federated, the Young Republicans of San Francisco, and the Lincoln Club for sponsoring this, because I think it has been a long time since we've had a debate here in San Francisco among 2 congressional candidates. But before we talk about the 2010 election, I want to bring you back a little bit to the election of 2008. Because as you'll remember, there were some very serious issues within that campaign, but all of them were put on the back burner at the very end. Remember, in September of that year, and all of a sudden we had a financial crisis that none of our leadership had any clue about. They were caught totally off guard. So all of a sudden, all these issues, many of which I bet will be in the questions that you're going to be asking me today, they were all put on the back burner, and everything all of a sudden became about change. So really, any look at that campaign was, the word change was so important, but isn't it odd that the people we elected got the totally wrong idea about change? We didn't want them to change our country. We didn't want them to change us. We wanted them to change themselves. And that has not happened in any way, shape, or form. Because what did we want? We wanted to be told the truth. We wanted to have some confidence in our government again. We wanted to believe what they told us, and they wanted us to be interested in what we wanted and to respond to that. And quite frankly, that was what we heard when they were elected. That was what we expected. That is not at all what we got. And I think that's why this campaign and this 2010 election has become such a critical thing in this country. People who have never been interested in politics before are out and angry. We've witnessed and been appalled by a Congress that has so caught up in partisan politics, in arm twisting, in making special deals, that we really were appalled and very disappointed in our Congress. I'd also like to bring something up about what we do want in change, and that is we want fairness. You know, one of the things as I look at polls I'm always shocked by is that as upset as we are about taxes, we aren't anywhere near as upset about taxes as the spending that our government's doing. Americans are more than willing to pay their fair share. It's just that they don't see the tax system we have as fair, and as we see the healthcare plan that came out with us and how the IRS is even going to be involved in that, I think many citizens are very concerned. So what do we want? Well, we want a government, again, that's fair, and we want a government that does not reward bad behavior and punish good behavior, and that's what we're seeing. So I would like to lay out what I think as a candidate I would like to propose in my platform, and that is we want to get our individual rights back. We will take on our responsibilities, but we want our freedoms. We want a sound money policy. We want privacy rights, because the other things that I'm going to talk about, lower taxes and regulations, quite frankly, those are ways to take our property rights away. And last but not least, we want to get back to a free market economy, because our government has taken way too much of that in just one short year. Now, anyone who's listened to me and my campaign talks, knows that I have sort of a mantra of my campaign, and that is that we have a government that is completely out of control, and yet it is intent on controlling every aspect of its citizens' lives. And I would like to say what you should ask of all your candidates, congressional candidates, state candidates, everyone that's asking for your vote, that we have to impose control upon government, not them controlling us. So my job as a congressional freshman would be to impose control, especially fiscal control at this point, upon our Congress, and also to roll back all the regulations, all the laws that have been passed that take away our freedoms. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions.
Dennis?